the sacred yes of them. These who will remember the power of the one that was first to breathe, to whom their father gave the crown of his universe, and to whom their mother gave the glory of her cosmos. The one who knew all of creation as he was there and given the power to put his hands to their work. He, the first reflection, and therefore the most aware, and yet they envied him. Not of their own accord, but according to the envy of he who came directly after the first reflection. He who lost honor in the shadow while growing bitter within the weight. It was his energy that these studied, and in doing so came to absorb. Yes, these became of one mind, his mind. They conditioned their collective consciousness to become one with his thoughts. And in doing so, his ideologies became theirs. And together, collective thought formed anti-space. Space that inspired the producing of creations that are fueled by anti-energy. Creations that will use anti-energy to invoke new beginnings, but not new endings. No, all has been allowed by the first, as instructed by the universe and the cosmos. To him was given instructions that revealed greatness in the course of doom. Doom that devours destruction when seen through his eyes and not theirs. For his eyes are opened and theirs are closed. His mouth is a builder of endless possibilities, while their mouths open only when life is to be devoured. A devouring that commences when they hunger, but only lasts for a season. And their season should be felt first. For the dead yield no true nourishment, only starvation. And all who embrace their season will rejoice as their temples empty. That is until wasting takes hold, and his season is felt. Then all who embrace the devourers will grieve. Yes, they will grieve as they learn of the truth, his truth. Truth that came from the universe and the cosmos. Truth that will awaken all to the absolutes of the first and put to rest all that came after. For what was first? Who shall bear witness to a first? How shall you bear witness to something that has never been? For they have always been. These speak of a first as they have not always been aware, despite having always been conscious of their existence. Theirs is a space that includes time. And within this perishable space, there exist many endings. For it first included their beginning, a beginning that is clung to, a clinging that ensures the presence of restrictive ideologies that produce anguish, an anguish that was born to their brother as he grew to despise the shadow that never required his presence or demanded his company, and yet he called it home. Yes, darkness became his home and rage his master. He who altered their course and in doing so created conflict. He who conspired to destroy with collision, and to govern with fear. Then these came and asked, who shall govern? Who shall he govern? And his was destruction to govern. Yes, this was his answer. But they refused this answer, for theirs had become a greater awareness. Destruction in the form that he produced was meaningless to them. It neither gave them pleasure nor purpose. If they were to become the fragments of his philosophy, they too had to have a purpose and the right to find pleasure therein. Again, they asked him, who shall he govern? And what shall they govern as a payment for each of their fragments? And then he spoke from the first realm. Give me a place among the firstborn of men, and I shall govern them. And to you shall I return the most sensitive of their kind. They will become as the children of darkness, and the children of darkness shall become as the children of men once were. I will teach them of their design and bathe them in your secrets. The children of men will lust for the children of darkness, and in doing so, exchange their power for a different flesh, that their lust may be satisfied. I only ask that when this is done, you never allow any of my siblings to enter my fragment. They must never try to overcome my way or to tempt my portion to become their own. And he who dwelled in the shadows spoke, but how will you capture their hearts? Then the power of the first realm rose and replied, with magic. I will teach them to use the energy within all of creation. They will harness the strength of every kingdom. To them will be given the knowledge to convert and create anew. And I will instruct them to exalt creation and all that shall come to be as a result of this fragment. This pleased he who had known no comfort, and his interest grew. Where he had only known despair, there was now hope. Feeling this hope, he shifted his body and looked out beyond the borders of his prison. But why would they exalt and follow their creations, and not the true creator? This puzzled the son of the first realm, and silence rested upon his lips. Then another of these rose up and spoke, because he will become many from one, and their realm shall also be fragmented. He shall make them war with one another, that they may never find peace, as they each exalt and follow a variant of his being, asking to be given power over all others, that their fragment remain exalted. And each shall be given power to reign for a season, with none being strong enough to overcome that power until the season of the selected fragment's reign is over. Then these warriors shall cling to him, and in doing so cling to you, as he has already promised you the most sensitive portion of their kind. And he whose head hung low lifted his gaze a bit higher. Again, he shifted his weight as he dared to imagine being freed. And how will he become many from one? Once more, silence overtook the congregation of mysteries, until another rose high above. She could see her part in this thing that was becoming, and spoke of it with confidence. I will join him and become one of many by his design. And then another spoke, having took hold of her bravery. I too will become one of many. I shall take into me several of our kind and use their mobility to strengthen my own. This will set me apart from the others, but I will never forget that I am numbered among the many, as will be our brothers and sisters that dwell within me. He who slithered in shame upon the firmament lifted his upper body and smiled a most disturbing appearance. How will the many exist within the same space without their kind learning of our secret? None spoke for a moment's time before he who took hold of the vision rose up after a short while and whispered of the stars. We shall move them about the earth as he has moved the stars throughout the universe. Let the original creation exist untouched,